Welcome to Real Vermont News. Today, we're looking into renewed attempts by progressives and Democrats, like the ones pictured here, to use Act 250 to save the planet from global warming by driving rural Vermonters like sheep from where we live and work now in the countryside into more supposedly energy-efficient urban centers, where these people think everybody should live and work. The proposed Act 250 revision was released in December 2018 after a year of study, and it has been under scrutiny in a Vermont House committee ever since. The full House did not vote on this matter this year, and it may not get to the governor for 2 years or even 3. A lot could change. But the point of the so-called reform of Act 250 is to, quote, encourage more compact development while preserving our working lands and rural character, end quote. In other words, these people want to make it harder to build new homes outside of urban centers and shoehorn us Vermonters into energy-saving multi-family buildings near public transportation. Most businesses would be discouraged from building anywhere but in selected urban areas too, as if most downtowns had room for such development. The plan would restrict development above 2,000 feet elevation, limit so-called forest fragmentation, so Vermont becomes more like one big woodland, and make it difficult to develop property near the 422,000 acres of land now in a state conservation program. What's so unfair to working people and just plain economically ignorant about this frightening plan is that in the midst of an affordable housing crisis, moving more people into towns and cities that already have expensive housing will just drive the cost of housing up further. It will also turn Vermont into an urban state and destroy our rural culture. And I don't think any of the representatives pictured here understands how many hard-nosed bureaucrats it will take to enforce all these draconian rules. Vermont will become a green police state. If all of this strikes you as a restriction of our fundamental right as Vermonters and Americans to live and work and play where we want to, and then we need to start asking ourselves, why do we keep voting for these people? Why we keep electing a supermajority of Democrats and progressives when they keep restricting our freedom and ruining our economy with wacky environmental laws based on the fantasy that what we do here in tiny Vermont has any impact at all on the world's climate. And since they won't stop doing that, won't just get off our backs and let Vermont flourish, why don't we look around this summer and find some more liberty-minded Vermonters to run for office next summer and replace them? And if we can't find those people, why don't we step up to the plate and run for office ourselves? It's the only way we're going to change things. And that's all the Real Vermont News we have time for. A lot more happened, and we'll be looking into all of it.
Paid for by Rescue Vermont Political Action Committee. Bob Frenier, Treasurer.